This is one of the various special episodes that they have in the series, and it's based on Friday the 13th. Now, they could have set this on any random ass month and put 13th in it, but the funny thing about this episode is that it's literally set on February 13th. This episode aired on Friday, February 13th. What you did there, I see it. What's up, guys? This is Courtney, one half of the Brothers Deconstruction here, and I'm bringing you another Beyond Belief episode analysis video, this time on their Friday the 13th special. Somebody in the comments on one of the previous Beyond Belief videos that I did said that I should do a video on one of their special episodes that they did. So, because Friday the 13th is coming up, and it's today when this video goes live, I decided to go ahead and knock it out. As always with Beyond Belief, I'm going to talk about the stories, a little bit of the acting, and whether or not we can really figure out and pinpoint what portion of the fantastical stories that they say are true are actually true. Like what part could actually be true. I did do a previous video for Beyond Belief. I never got around to editing it, but essentially what I said in that video was there's a lot of other content that analyzes Beyond Belief where they kind of look at the kernel of truth of each story in the episode, and because I don't want to just straight up copy that particular style, I decided that I'm going to be talking about like the technical aspects of the episode as well, the acting, maybe the story itself, and then trying to figure out, what's true regarding the story. Hey, what's up, guys? Courtney from the editor room here. In the Halloween episode that I just did a couple of weeks ago, I talked about how the length of the videos were really troublesome for me when it comes to editing. So I've decided to pull an audible and only talk about the stories that were deemed true in episode. I think that way it really cuts down on the amount of content that I actually have to, report on for the episode, and it just cuts down on the length of the video overall. So I think this will be a really win-win situation for the Beyond Belief content. Hope you guys enjoy. Now, on to the true stories, or true stories. So, first up is The Escape. It's about an inmate who escapes prison and lands in another prison. So this inmate has this plan that he's going to escape. He enacts it, jumps in like the laundry basket. There's like a big distraction, jumps in the laundry basket, ends up getting moved, and he thinks that he's moved to somewhere out in the open. But in fact, they just transferred the laundry to another prison. And he just escaped one prison just to land in another prison. This was presented as being true. Now, overall in this story, there's not much to say about the acting. The guy is kind of cocky. Oh, I'm gonna get out of here. This guy, he wouldn't know this, blah, blah, blah. It's very one note. It's just kind of straightforward. Hey, I'm going to escape. I know what the plan is going to be. Distraction goes off. He jumps in the laundry basket. They don't check. They move it. Winds up in another prison. And then, of course, there's a voiceover by Jonathan Frakes, who's now the host of the show in the second season. He says he didn't realize what day it was. And we see a calendar that says February 13th. So regarding this story, this isn't a supernatural story. So it's very well possible that an inmate tried to escape one prison and wound up just landing in another one by chance. His escape route just literally led him to staying in prison. It just got transferred to another one. I tried to look up. I think I read something about this, about an actual incident of this happening, but when I looked it up before I started this video, I couldn't find anything, so I don't know. But there's really nothing to analyze about that story because it's not supernatural. There's nothing really crazy about it. Obviously, there are smaller details that could have been changed for the segment in the episode, but I think overall, this is a pretty plausible thing. I can definitely picture a guy going through having a plan to escape and then just literally winding up in a different prison. So there's nothing crazy to talk about in this segment. The follow-up story of this is Dead Friday. It's about two roommates who live together. They invite a couple of guys over. They're supposed to go out to some nightclub that's really, really popular in the area. They have movies. I guess they rented movies or maybe they own them. I'm not sure. But the friend sees, I guess she puts the VHS tape in the VCR, and she sees what looks like, traffic lights. She sees a train on the TV, and she sees them on the TV like in agony and anguish, this and that. She gets freaked out, and she continues to see it on the TV. Tells her roommate, "No, do you guys see this? Like, we can't go out tonight. We just can't go. Do you see what I'm seeing?" So she's freaking out. And the one thing that I noticed while I was watching this episode is one, the escalation happened way too quickly for what was going on. She immediately starts raising her voice. "Do you guys see this? It's on the TV. We can't go. You can't go."
Okay, she's tripping. We're gonna go to Madame Q's without you.
No, you can't go.
What are you talking about?
You can't go. None of us can go.
And then the guy, his friend that he was trying to hook her up with, is like, "Yeah, man, this is weird. We're gonna go."
This is really weird, okay? It's really bizarre. You coming, Marcus? Come on, Jody.
And it was just a little too deadpan, yet over the top. The dialogue was over the top. The delivery was deadpan. So it was really, really jarring watching that. But the two guys, he tries to get the roommate to come along, the one that he's actually dating. She says, "Look, this is my roommate. She's clearly having some type of breakdown. I can't leave her here like that." So they leave. They go to the nightclub. The roommate stays. The girl ends up like going back up to her room or going to sleep, and the roommate is on the couch watching TV. News report comes on. There was a car accident. A car ran in, or had a head-on collision or something like that with the train. Both the guys died. I think they might have released the names as well, but it was the two guys that they were supposed to be with. So had they actually gone out, they would have been in that accident as well, because the guys got hit by the train on their way back home from the club. So it's like, "Oh, you saved my life." And then after the segment, Jonathan Frakes comes in and says there was no movie in the VCR. So she just literally just saw this on the TV. Turns out that this is being presented as true.
And somebody placed those images there by taping over the rental copy. Yet the tape cassette was empty.
There could be a couple of different angles here. It could have been a couple of people got into an accident and died one night while coming back from a nightclub, and then they formulated this whole premonition thing around. There are also instances of people having premonitions or what they think are premonitions, and the actual event happens. I mean, who knows if it was true, but if somebody says, "Oh, I just had a gut feeling," or "I saw it in my dream about this one thing happening," and it ended up happening, there are reported instances of that happening. So that could be the aspect as well, where it was like, "Oh, this person said they have a premonition, so let's switch it around. They had a premonition about an accident. She sees it on this TV. She avoids it, saves her life. Boom." But yeah, I think overall the acting was a little too over the top, and it could have been toned down just a little bit. The last story is The Lady in a Black Dress. This story is about a woman who's shopping with her daughter for a dress to an old friend's wedding. The daughter and this particular friend drifted apart, but she still got an invitation to the wedding. She's out with her mom looking for a dress to wear to the ceremony. The mom brings up the fact that, or the daughter brings up their aunt Lily, who died, you know, alone in like a nursing home or something like that. And the mom has deep regrets now about not being there with her, because she said that the aunt told her the last face you should see should be one of love. And so the mom felt really, really bad about not being there with her when she died. And so, you know, the daughter's like, this is not an invitation to beat yourself up. It happened 5 years ago. You kind of have to get over it, right? So they decide to go to another store because they're not really finding any dresses that they like. The mom says, okay, you go in there, get changed. I'll go get the car, meet me out front. Now, this situation is a little weird because the mom leaves the store. Mind you, she had already been seeing her aunt around the store. She saw her aunt popping up around the store in a little black dress. She smelled her perfume. You know, she would walk up to a person at a desk and say, hey, where's the elderly woman who was just here? There was nobody here. I didn't see anybody. And then she said, oh, do you smell that perfume? That's the perfume that your aunt wore. And then the daughter would be like, I don't smell anything. So she had already been seeing her aunt around the store. She leaves the store, and before she crosses the street, she starts reaching in her purse for her car keys without looking, and then gets hit by a car. And the way that she sprawled out is just fucking hilarious, right? It's not like she gets run over. The guy pretty much stops when he hits her. But I mean, okay, you don't want some super violent car accident. She's on the ground. She looks up, immediately sees her aunt. And her aunt says, I'm not gonna let you die alone. The last face that you should see is one of love. The mom passes away. You know, the daughter comes running outside and everything like that. It's presented as being true. Now, since I did jump ahead to this episode, this was episode 4, season 2. I don't know if this was the first instance of Jonathan Frakes doing this, but as I stated before, there are episodes where, when saying a story is fact, Jonathan Frakes would follow that up by saying, is this story that really happened? Yes, it's fact. And then once the title card comes up of fact, it would be like first-hand research conducted by author Robert Tralins. So Robert Tralins did a lot of the research for these stories that were presented as true later on, starting in season 2 and so on. Some of the stories, when they were presented as being true, that would be the follow-up. Found as true, conducted by first-hand research by Robert Tralins. Things like that. But the portion of the story that may be true, this might be a woman, you know, a person that smelled old cologne or perfume from their aunt that had passed away. It could be they had an aunt, somebody had an aunt that died alone in a hospital or in a nursing home, and this person, you know, constantly beat themselves up about it. Who knows, right? I will say though, overall, this is probably the segment with the best acting in it. It was very casual. I remember to make a note of that in my head while watching it. It was very casual. It seemed very, very realistic. Nothing really seemed forced. And the only thing that I can say was probably awkward was the lady, one of the associates at a desk, that the woman, the mother, walked up to ask where was her aunt. She was like, where was the elderly lady that was just here, standing here? And he was like, what? I didn't see anybody.
The elderly lady that was just here, did you see where she went?
I'm sorry, I didn't see anyone.
Really?
That seemed a little awkward, and then also the accident itself. Like she literally walks out of frame. You see this car pull up and kind of like slam on the brakes, and they obviously have the sound effects and things like that. And then the guy gets out. It was a little awkward, but I understand. You don't want to show a super graphic car accident of somebody getting hit. Yeah, I think this has the best acting in it. And I guess toward the end, when the daughter runs out of the store, like the sadness that she portrays. And again, I'm not trying to sound super analytical, but I'm just noticing this as I'm watching it. She runs out, she's like, Mom, no. And then reach forward and then kind of leans on the the lady from the desk that she talked to earlier that's out there. They're all kneeling next to her and everything like that. So yeah, guys, this is my analysis of the Friday the 13th special of Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. This is episode 4 in season 2, if you want to go check it out. So as always, I appreciate the support, whether it's 1, 5, 10, or 100 views. Go check out the other episodes on the channel. You know, when this video goes up, Halloween wasn't that too long ago. Go check out some of the videos that we did for that entire week. Go check out some of the other reviews and videos on the channel in general, guys. And as always, I'll catch up with you later.